Oke, kita mulai saja ya. Mungkin sudah cukup banyak di sini pesertanya. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat sore, Om Swastiastu, Salam Nama Budaya. Eh, Pertama-tama saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada Miss Patricia dan Pak Leo telah bersedia menjadi pemateri kita pada pelatihan kita hari ini. Selamat datang juga kepada Bapak dan Ibu dosen serta mahasiswa yang telah hadir semuanya meluangkan waktunya untuk mengikuti pelatihan ini. Perlu diketahui, PSB sudah melanggan online data riset Capital IQ Pro Platform dan Compustat Financial via Capital IQ. Data ini dapat diakses secara remote menggunakan personal login yang dapat diakses di mana saja. Kemudian pelatihan ini juga kami rutin laksanakan dan juga kami record dan disediakan recordnya di website PSB. Nah, terkait akses Capital IQ ini, kami sudah daftarkan email UI Civitas FEB ke Capital IQ. Nah, jika sudah didaftarkan, nanti akan mendapatkan welcome email. Nah, biasanya nanti welcome email ini kalau teman-teman mahasiswa, Bapak Ibu dosen, itu bisa langsung aktifasi melalui welcome email itu. Eh, Mungkin saya tunjukkan eh, ini ya. Saya share screen dulu untuk rupanya. Ini mungkin buat bantu teman-teman mahasiswa yang baru juga. Nah, untuk tampilannya seperti ini ya, teman-teman mahasiswa sudah terlihat.
Sudah, Wi.
Oke, nah, jadi nanti tinggal diklik complete registration untuk melakukan eh, pembuatan akun Capital IQ. Oke, nah, nanti kalau misalnya teman-teman atau Bapak Ibu dosen eh, tidak bisa memakai link tersebut, itu mungkin bisa melakukan forget password di login page-nya Capital IQ. Nah, nanti di sana akan dapat link reset password di email UI, di email UI kembali, kayak gitu. Nah, kalau misalnya memang belum terdaftar, bisa nanti saya kirimkan link untuk Google Form-nya dan akan kami ajukan ke Capital IQ-nya untuk didaftarkan. Seperti itu. Oke, sebelum dimulai, mungkin Pak Dindin mewakili Kepala PSB ada yang mau disampaikan? Silakan.
Ya, baik. Terima kasih, Raffi. Sebelumnya terima kasih buat Bapak dan Ibu dan teman-teman mahasiswa yang sudah join, yang sudah bergabung pada pelatihan batch 1 hari ini. Saya mewakili Ibu Tari, kebetulan Bu Tari Bahan hadir hari ini. Kami sampaikan kembali bahwa eh, pelatihan ini sudah rutin dilakukan ya. Nanti juga teman-teman bisa lihat hasil rekamannya di websitenya PSB dan juga tadi sudah disonding sama Raffi bahwa seluruh email mahasiswa FEB, email UI-nya sudah kami daftarkan dan nanti sering-sering dicek aja emailnya. Cara ngecek email UI-nya sudah saya ketik di chat ya. Caranya buka untuk email UI dengan gmail.ui.ac.id atau bisa dengan webmail.ui.ac.id. Kemudian tinggal masukkan SSO-nya. Kami sampaikan pula bahwa pimpinan akan mengevaluasi terkait penggunaan akses database Compustat ya, Capital IQ dan IQ Pro. Oleh karena itu, kami meminta juga memohon kepada seluruh mahasiswa untuk bisa memanfaatkan atau memaksimalkan penggunaan akses database Capital IQ dan IQ Pro ini sehingga mudah-mudahan akses kembali akan dilanggan oleh PSB apabila memang penggunaannya eh, memenuhi usage penggunaan terkait akses database. Mungkin itu Raffi yang bisa saya sampaikan terkait pelatihan hari ini. Silakan untuk dilanjutkan terkait pelatihan dengan narasumber Patricia.
Oke, terima kasih Pak. Oke, bentar. Terima kasih untuk Pak Dindin. Mungkin sekarang kita akan mulai pelatihannya to Patricia dan Pak
Oh
Leo.
ya,
Of
ya
course,
sebentar.
please.
Pak, untuk disampaikan kembali buat teman-teman mahasiswa, apabila ada pertanyaan, bisa silahkan langsung ditanyakan saja ya, ataupun bisa langsung tulis di kolom chat. Kebetulan di sini juga ada Pak Leo Kurniawan yang akan bisa membantu terkait mungkin bahasa ya, bisa disampaikan dalam bahasa Indonesia ataupun dalam bahasa Inggris terkait pertanyaan nanti yang akan diajukan. Silakan, Dan.
Oke, silahkan Patricia.
Please your time, Patricia.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Yes, before we start, just wanted to quickly introduce myself. My name is Patricia, or you can also call me Trisha for short, and I am a customer success manager from S&P Global. So for today's training, we will be looking at the Compustats data financials in Capital IQ, and we will also be going through Capital IQ Pro, discussing the key functionalities, the financials, as well as the other data that is available within the platform. We will be also looking at the new enhancements that we've added in Capital IQ Pro that is related to generative AI. So a lot of topics will be discussed, but if you have any questions, you can feel free to chat it here. I have here Leo who can also assist in answering those questions. I'll also be answering them throughout the session, and those that are not answered, I'll also be reaching out to you personally via email as well. I'll also be chatting now. Here the email that you can reach out to. So if you have any questions regarding your access, so if you have login issues, or if you have any questions regarding the data in Capital IQ or Capital IQ Pro, feel free to reach out to any or both of those emails right there. So the first one, support.capiqpro, that's our support email. And that other one is my work email that you can also reach out to. Okay, so to start, let me just start sharing my screen now. Okay, just wanted to check, is everyone seeing my screen? Maybe Rafi, can you confirm if you're seeing my screen?
Yes. Okay, it's in.
Okay, perfect. So yes, let me just move this here. Okay. So yes, as you can see, I'm currently on Capital IQ right now. So you both have for your university, you have both access to Capital IQ and Capital IQ Pro. So as you can see, they look very different. But just to show you the difference, basically Capital IQ, this is our older platform, what we call our classic or legacy platform, wherein financials, the market data, transactions data, all of that you can access right here. But you can see later on that a lot of the advancements, all of the new enhancements are incorporated in Capital IQ Pro. So for Capital IQ, we'll be only specifically looking at the Compustats data. So maybe let's look at a sample company. So to access the Compustats data, you can directly search for the company here on the search bar. So maybe we can search for this company right here. So I just typed in the ticker for the company. And as you can see, it is available here at the top. So just click on that. And it will open up the company profile page. And as you can see, this is already a good starting point because you can access the business description, the stock quote and chart, the financials data, and etc. But specifically, we're going to look at the Compustats data right here. So you might be wondering, like, what's the difference between like Compustats financials that you're seeing here, as well as the one that is under financials and valuations. Basically, you can think of it as For Compustats, it is primarily focused on providing detailed financials, statements, and metrics for public traded companies with a strong emphasis on historical data. So it aggregates the data from various filings and sources, allowing for a more comprehensive historical analysis. Meanwhile, Capital IQ financials, or those that are found under the financial slash valuations, those are designed to be able to give you the opportunity to what do you call this? To compare the financials across different regions and geography. So if you'd like to compare a company that is located maybe in India and Indonesia, of course, like those two countries may have different financial standards. So through the use of the capital IQ standardization, you can compare those financials seamlessly without having to take into considerations the differences in their financials or how those countries report their financials. So really it depends on the analysis that you're performing. So if you're looking at a cross analysis between companies in different regions in different industries, just go for the financial slash valuations here. But if you'd like to if you only have a focused company in mind, you can just stick to Compustat Financials. So just to show you how the Compustat Financials look like, I'm just going to click on income statement here. And you'll be seeing here the available data. So as you can see, like once you click on income statement, you can easily jump through the balance sheet, cash flow, multiples, and etc. Here you have at the top, the other selections are the options here available. You can change the period type. So maybe you'd like to get the annual data, and maybe you'd like to get the data in Indonesian right here. So just click on go once you're done with your selection. And you'll be seeing here that the data is now showing in the annual format as well as in IDR. You can, of course, change the time frame. So if you'd like to get up to 2000 maybe, just adjust the time frame here. And you can see that it's now showing the data. You can also quickly export this to Excel. So you have two options here. You can either download this page. So for this page, it will only download the income statement. But if you'd like to download everything up to the segments data right here, you can just click on download financials and it will download everything for you directly into Excel. Okay, so that would be it for the CompuStats and Capital IQ portion for today's session. We'll be jumping through immediately to Capital IQ Pro. So what's good about having both access is that you can just click on S&P Capital IQ Pro here on the top right. And it will automatically open up the Capital IQ Pro platform. Okay, so it's just loading up right now, but as you can see, once you are here on this page, it will open up the dashboard. And just a quick introduction again, the Capital IQ Pro is basically the enhanced version of the Capital IQ platform. So it includes all of the data that is available in Capital IQ, along with more in-depth industry-specific data. We also have expanded financial coverage here as well, such as private company data and private equity data. We also have the advanced tools. As mentioned, we will be looking at the generative AI functionalities that is available here in Capital IQ Pro. Okay, so maybe something we could look at just quickly is the this one right here. If you click on this, the user icon at the top, you have here the user profile and display information. Basically here you can change your user information, so feel free to change any of this. You also have here the profile information section. If you have here a specialization that you'd like to change into. For example, maybe you'd like to be more, if your research is more specific to energy or financials, you can definitely change that. But if you don't really have any specific specialization in mind, you can just leave it to generalists like what I have right here. And then from here, you can also change your currency, your time zone, your time format, and also the appearance. So as you can see, mine is in dark mode, but you can also change it to light mode right here. Then once you're done, just click on save here at the top right. Okay, so maybe we can look at the search bar now. So as you can see, if we compare the search bar, I just have here, I'll just quickly jump through the Capital AQ platform. So as you can see, the Capital AQ platform, it's quite straightforward. Whatever you type in, it will return the data. But here in Capital AQ Pro, it's a lot more advanced, wherein if you click on it, you can see that we have here the all. And then you can also specify if you'd like to search for companies, assets, funds, fixed income, etc. You can also like use this search bar as a quick way to pull in your data. So maybe you'd like to get the GDP of USA. As you can see, just by typing USA GDP, it will automatically give you or return to you the latest GDP for the country. And aside from that, of course, you can also use this. You can think of this the search bar is similar to Google, wherein you can type in phrases. So, for example, you'd like to get let's say IBM transactions. So once you click on enter, you can see that it is returning results that are related to that key phrase that I typed in. So it's now returning links for transactions, for key developments. So key developments are sort of, you can think of it as very as as a type of news. And then we also have here some filings and then some investment research as well. So you can definitely use the search bar as a way to pull in specific phrases or keywords that you are interested in. Okay, so maybe we can look at a sample company now. So let's say maybe Tokopedia. So just type in the company name here, and then you can see that it is returning some similar companies. You can also see here that you can quickly access their earnings call. Okay, so this is the company we're looking at. So as you can see here on the right side, we have some quick links as well. So if you'd easily want to jump through their financial highlights, their key developments, you can do that. But let's just click on this one so that we can access their company profile. So similar to Capital IQ, once you've selected the company that you're looking at, it will open up their corporate profile page right here. So as you can see, you can access the market data, corporate data. You can see here some of their codes, their IPO date if you're interested in that as well. You can also access their stock price and volume chart right here. And a whole lot more data is available on this page. Okay, so I wanted to quickly show this page right here on the left side. Let's go to stock chart. Because aside from it easily providing you the stock price as well as the volume of the company, so you can see here it's already automatically populated. You can also compare. So maybe you'd like to compare this company to another company. You can also do that. Maybe like let's try it. Let's compare it to TLKM. Okay, so as you can see, it's now comparing the share price of both companies. You can also add in studies such as the moving average, RSI. And then on this button right here, you can also change the chart type. Then we also have the chart settings. So you can also change the currency, the y-axis scale. If you'd like to get the dividends and splits, so for example, let's toggle this on. Once this is loaded, Okay, for some reason, let's see. Okay. It will usually show when the company has released dividends, but I'm not quite sure why it's not loading on this page. But you can also use the chart summary right here, and it will open up just a summary of the data available for the company right here. Okay, and then we also have chart explainer. Okay, let me try if it will. Let's see the data right here. So chart explainer, it allows you to select a time frame within the chart, and it will give you important events as well as an analysis for whatever happened in that time frame that you've selected. So let's say maybe up to here and this. As you can see, it's now pulling some news and activities for the company based on the time frame that I've selected. So as you can see, based on the time frame, it has pulled in um, major events such as e-commerce tax regularization, concerns over TikTok and Tokopedia merger, market reactions to GoTo's financial performance, legal clarifications, and etc. And all of this are sourced from valid sources. As you can see here, you can easily access any of the sources. Just click on the links and it will open up the page wherein this particular event was sourced from. So yes, Chart Explainer is available for all public companies. Again, just go to their corporate profile and then go to stock chart, and you can easily access the Chart Explainer through the button right here. Okay, so moving on, other data sets you might be interested in. Maybe you're also looking at the corporate structure of the company. You can click that here. So this will give you a detailed view if they have like any, as you can see here, if they have any subsidiaries, investments, all of that will be available on this page. As you can see here, it's listing down the subsidiaries for Tokopedia. Aside from that, we also have people summary. This will list down the top executives as well as the board members for the company. We also have here the gender diversity. So if you're interested in analyzing the male and to female ratio, you can definitely do that here. As you can see, we have the top executives, the board of directors, and other board members. All of this executives also have their specific pages for them. So just click on any of the names and it will open up the page that is specific to that executive, wherein you can learn more about their board memberships, their education, professional functions. If they have any insider holdings as well, you can do that here. Okay, so aside from that, as you can see, we have a lot of financials or a lot of links that you can look into here on the left-hand side. But maybe we can take a look now at the financials. So the financials here, it will feature the capital AQ standardized financials. So let's click on income statement. Okay, so as you can see here, it's quite similar to how to what we saw here in Capital IQ, wherein you can change the time frames. Here at the top, you can change the period. So maybe you'd like to view the data in years. So let's do that. You can see here, let me oops. Let me expand that instead. Okay, so now we have the selected years. Aside from that, a couple things. You can, of course, change the currency here. You can also export the data. So if you'd like to export the data, just click on the export button right here. And one good thing here in Capital EQ Pro is that most of the pages have the definitions button. So if you're not familiar about a specific data metric, so for example, me personally, I'm not familiar with, let's say, options exercise. This will give you the definitions. As you can see, it says total stock options and warrants exercised during the period. So it definitely makes it a lot easier for you to understand what that data is. Aside from that, you can see here that the positives are in blue and then the negatives are of course in red. But all of these numbers right here, all of these are clickable. So you can see I'm just clicking on the 2023 total revenue, and then I'm just further expanding it. What this functionality is what we call audit data. Basically, it allows you to access where this particular value was sourced from. As you can see, once I hover over this particular value, you can click on it and it will open up the financial filing wherein this particular total revenue value was sourced from. Might take a couple of seconds to load. Okay, so as you can see, it's now opening up the filing wherein this particular value was sourced from. Okay, so let me just close this out. Okay, a couple more data sets that you can access, of course, are the other financials, the financials data available here. We also have the estimates. So if you are analyzing a company and you'd like to see how financial analysts are foreseeing or how analysts are seeing how a company will perform in the future, this is definitely the page for you to look at. So let me just change my filter. So right now, as you can see, it's on fiscal quarters. So let's change it to fiscal years. Then click on apply filters. And then, sorry, let me change the up to, let's say, up to 2028. Let's see if it's available. Okay, so as you can see, as mentioned, these are all forecasted data based on the financial analysts that are covering this company. So you can see the revenue, those that are for up to 2025, up to 2028, EBITDA data, up to 2028 as well. So definitely this would be the page to go to if you'd like to see how the company is forecasted to perform in the future. Okay, so a couple more data sets to look at on this page. Maybe we can look at the news events and filings. So if you'd like to access maybe their transcripts, their press releases, you can also do that here. Maybe we can also look at the ownership data. So let's say, let's go to ownership detailed, or maybe ownership summary instead. Apologies. Okay, so yes, for this page, ownership summary, it will show you the summary of the owners for the company. You can see here that those that are part of the institutions, the corporations, public, private corporations, individuals. You can go to top holders right here to see those who are the top holders for the company. You can see here some familiar names such as BlackRock, Vanguard, Alibaba is also a top holder. If you'd like to get the list of holders, just click on View More Holders here. Okay, and as you can see, we are now viewing the top holders for the company. It is automatically, or it will automatically be shown depending on the market value. So you can see here at the top, those with the highest market value is showing. If you're also interested to learn more about how their position has changed in history, so for example, maybe they've increased their ownership in the past, you can just click on history here. And then you'll be seeing here their ownership data throughout the years. Okay, so let's also move on to different page. Maybe we can take a look at investments. So under public holdings here, let's go to public holdings detailed. Basically, this will just show us the holdings for the company. So as you can see, they have holdings for this particular company right here and their percentage of shares outstanding. Aside from that, you can of course also access the transactions of the company right here and their corporate issuance page on this page right here. So maybe you'd like to um, get to know more about their securities. You can do it on this page right here. Okay, so maybe we can move on now to the other functionalities and tools available within Capital IQ Pro. So definitely one of the most used by our clients is this tool called the screener tool. So this is definitely a very powerful way of accessing data simultaneously for a bunch of companies. So as you can see right now, we were doing just one analysis for a single company. But if you'd like to pull data for a bunch of companies, maybe you're interested in pulling those that are all trading or publicly trading in IDX or the Indonesia Stock Exchange, we can do that directly here on the screener tool. So to access it, just go to screener and then go to companies.
Hi Tricia, sorry to chime in. There is a member who is interested to
Mm-hmm.
find a list of banks in Japan with all the
Mm.
financials.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Just to confirm, like list of banks in Japan, right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I think some of the concerns is also they're not able to find particular banks' fundamentals data on the page
Mm-hmm.
in the legacy capital IQ. So I
Mm.
guess that's because most of the banking data would be in Capital IQ Pro as well. But
Yes.
Tricia, feel free to explain it to the rest of the team.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Says as Leo mentioned, most of the banking data is available here in Capital IQ Pro. That's just because banking or the financial sector is actually one of the industry focuses available here in Capital IQ Pro. So we definitely have more data available here regarding the banking sector. So maybe we can actually use that as a sample. So what was that again? Polling banks that are based in Japan. So let's say, but yes, before we go into that, just wanted to introduce this page again. This is called the company screener tool, wherein you can use the criteria that we have here to pull in a list of companies that fit that particular criteria. Okay, so it might look different on your end because I think by default, the criteria list is available on the left-hand side, but you can just click on the button right here and it will open up the criteria list here at the bottom part. I personally prefer this that's just because I can see everything, but you can definitely change it based on your preference. Okay, so let's start pulling that list of banks based in Japan. So maybe we can start with pulling the banks first. So that can be done by going to industry classification and then let's type in banks. Okay, so definitely not the one under healthcare. Okay, no, this is the correct one because it's under financials. So just tick the box for banks. And then once you're done, just click on add. And as you can see, it's now pulling for those that are under the banks industry. Okay. So as you can see, like with just that criteria alone, we're now down to 119,000 companies. So let's now narrow it down by only pulling for those in Japan. So let's click on geography here. Okay, it's not okay. There it is. So again, just type in Japan, and then tick the box for it. Click on add. Okay, so as you can see, just by adding that second criteria, we're now down to 4,196 companies. Awesome. So maybe we can maybe just pull for those that are publicly trading. Just click on company type right here. Okay, I think it's just loading a little. Okay, there it is. Just tick the box for public company. Click on add. Okay, now we're down to a good number. So 90, there are 98 public companies that are in the banking industry located in Japan. So let's click on run screen. Okay, and as you can see here, we now have that list of publicly trading companies in Japan. Okay, so aside from pulling this list of companies, we can also add in a bunch more data. So maybe you're interested in getting their financials, such as their total revenue, their total assets, etc. We can do that all through the display columns button right here. So this will open up the field selector wherein you can add in as much data as you would like. So maybe you're interested in something as simple as their pricing data. Let's say you'd like to get their last trading, let's say, or maybe their day close price, maybe for last Monday up to Tuesday. You can add that. As you can see, I'm adding that here. You can also add in their financials. So I just went to financials, key financials. So let's add in their market cap and then maybe their total revenue as well. Maybe you'd like to get for 2023 and 2024. Let's do that. And then their total assets, let's also add in the same. Okay, so once you're done with your selection, of course, you can definitely like add in more columns. But for today's sample, I'm just going to click on apply now. As you can see, without having to um, without having to do this one by one for for each company, you can just use the company screener tool, and it is now automatically pulling in that list of companies that we pulled in, as well as those data columns that we've selected. Okay. A couple of things I'd like to show here is that you can also click on save. So if you'd like to revisit the same list of companies, the same columns, you can just click on the save button and then make sure to select the one that is named project. That's just because you want to select and save everything. And then all of your save items is available on the save items folder here. For the company screens, it's available under lists and screens. And then just go to manage screens right here to open it up. You can also, of course, export this to Excel by clicking on the export button right here. Okay, so that's just like a one example that we can do. Maybe we can do another sample on how you can pull in those that are listed in the Indonesia Stock Exchange. So I'm just going to um, go to screener and then companies again, just so that we have a blank page. Oops, let me try that again. Yes, we do have the earnings call transcript data. I'll also be showing that later on. Very exciting because that's actually one of the features wherein we've also incorporated AI. Okay, so let's do a sample of how we can pull the companies that are listed in IDX. So the quickest way actually would be by clicking on Browse Criteria here. So once you click on Browse Criteria, the field selector will open up. And then let's search for the one that is exchange. Okay, it's this one. This will allow you to select the specific exchange that you'd like to see data for. So from here, you can see that we have the available exchanges here in Capital IQ Pro. And then the one that we're interested is this one for IDX. So just the box for it. So just check it once you're done. Also, as you can see here at the bottom, you have the definitions as well for any of the data sets here. Oops, where did I go? Okay, let me select that again. IDX, check IDX, and then click on add, and then click on done. Okay, so as you can see, there are 965 companies that are listed in IDX. So just click on run screen. Okay, and now we have that list of companies with us. So similar to what we did earlier, just click on display columns to add in any of the data columns that you're interested in. Okay, so maybe we can look at a more broader view. So we have here under the markets tab, we have a lot of data available here. Maybe you're interested in getting the rates and yields. So let me go through that. So this is more of a market view wherein you'll be able to get the yields, the rates, etc. You can see here that we have some charts. The most used here would be the all rates functionality. So you can see mine is selected in APAC. And then you can also change the different rates here. Maybe you'd only want to get government debt, etc. So maybe let's take a look at government debt right here. So here's where you can access. As you can see, we have the 1-year Indonesia bonds, the 3-year, the 5-year, etc. And then we also have it for the other countries that are part of the Asia Pacific region. Okay, so aside from that, we also have the currency exchange rates. Currency exchange rates. From here, you can change the base currency. So maybe let's try a sample here. So maybe we can select IDR. And then from here, you can change the data you'd like to see or the currency you'd like to see data for. So you can change it. I'm just going to randomly select one. Like for example, the Bulgarian, the Brunei dollar, Colombian peso maybe. So yes, depending on what you select here, just click on apply filters. And it will now show the currency exchange rate from IDR to any of those that you've selected right here. Again, all of this you can quickly export by clicking on the export data. Okay, so lastly, I definitely wanted to show the available data for Indonesia as a whole. So we do have, aside from company and industry data, we also have data available for countries. So you can access that by either going through the geographies here. So you can see that we have ones for United States, Europe, APAC. You can easily access Indonesia right here. Oops, where is it? Okay, Indonesia right here. Or you can also just use the search bar. So for example, let's type in Indonesia. Just go to the one that is tagged as a country or region profile. Okay, and then once that is loaded, we now are in the page wherein you can access the country and region profile for Indonesia. Okay, so you can also see here the exchange rates. It's also quickly available here. The country risk score. This will just show you the country risk score. If you're not quite sure, you could just hover over the information button right here. It allows you to, of course, like understand the definitions for each of the score breakdowns right here. So as you can see, we have political, economical, legal, tax, operational, and security. Basically, it will just show you the risk for the country, GDP and debt, industry news, economy and perspective is also available here. So we're definitely going to look at the economy and demographic data, which you can access on this widgets or tables right here. but you can also access it here on the left links. Just go to economic and demographic data. Okay, so as you can see, we're now seeing the historical um, economic and demographic data for Indonesia. We have here some frequently used economic data such as the CPI, the GDP. We also have the stock market index available here, gold reserves, and a whole lot more. So again, if you're not quite sure, just hover over the information button here to learn more about the definition of that particular line item. We also have the definitions button here. So aside from historical, we also have the projected data for those line items here as well. Okay, so yes, aside from this, we also have a bunch of pages. So you can see that we have those that are specific to transactions. If you'd like to get banking related data for the country, you can also do that here. Insurance as well as metals and minings and a whole lot more is available on this page as well. Okay, so maybe we can now take a look at the recent enhancements that we've added. So those are, aside from the chart explainer, which I showed earlier, we also have the document intelligence as well as chat IQ, both of which are powered by generative AI. So I'm just going to go to document intelligence now. So you can go access that by clicking on documents. If you don't see it, we also have the edit button right here. So just to show you again, it's edit, and then feel free to customize it, your menu items, just so that documents as well as those ones that you usually use can be easily accessible. So I'm just going to click on documents now. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Might be a bit confusing at first, but basically this page, it will allow you to access filings, investment research, transcripts, and investor presentations, as well as news based on the filters that you'll be selecting here at the top. Okay, so as you can see, you can either type in your list of companies that you'd like to search data for, or if you don't really have one in mind, you can just use the other filters here. So maybe for keywords, maybe you're interested in, um, let's say, companies that are part of, or those documents that have mentions of maybe lithium, let's say. As you can see, it's now refreshing the data. Aside from lithium, it's also going to pull in some synonyms, which you can see click on here. So it's also searching for other synonyms right here, but you can also like uncheck any of those that you're not interested in. But maybe let's click on done. You can also change the time range, the document type, as well as more filters right here. Maybe you're interested in specific industry as well as geography. So maybe we can just stick with Asia Pacific, then click on apply filters. Okay, now we are seeing documents based on the filters we've selected. You can see here the filings. I definitely want to show the transcripts and investor presentations. As mentioned, this is where we've recently added our enhancements. Let's see, maybe let's click on this one. I just clicked on a random transcript for Worley Limited. So it is listed in the Australia Stock Exchange. As you can see here on the left side, it is highlighting those keywords, the keyword that we did, so lithium. You can click on any of this and it will automatically highlight the section in the transcript wherein lithium was found. Aside from that, we also have here key phrases. This will just highlight the key phrases or those that were most mentioned within the transcript. So as you can see here, LNG project was most mentioned, risk profile, the Middle East, end markets, etc. You can also see here the entities that were most mentioned in the call. So you may be interested in what companies this company were mentioned in the earnings call, let's say. Okay, so aside from that, here on the right side, here is one of our latest enhancements. It's called the summary, wherein you can either look at it by topic or by sentiment. Basically, instead of having to read through all of this, so as you can see, it's a very, 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 very long call. And if you don't really have the time to read through it, through the use of AI, we are now able to just look at the by topics. So you can see that we have the financial results, the outlooks, the company strategy, external factors, and product services listed down. And they are all, and you have your points here that you can just click and it will highlight that section wherein it was sourced from. Again, you can just click on any of this and it will automatically jump through the section in the transcript wherein this point is sourced from. And then by sentiments, it will just list down the positives and the negatives discussed in the call. For this one, it is noted with a 2. That's just because it is sourced from 2 different sections in the transcript. Okay, so aside from that, we also have the sentiment scores. Okay, it's just loading right here. Basically, it will just show the net positivity, numeric transparency, and language complexity. So all of this, maybe you're not familiar with it, you can just, again, just hover over the information button to learn more. And one very exciting thing here that we have, this is called Chat IQ. So you can think of it as Capital IQ Pro's own Chat GPT, wherein you can ask it questions and it will answer you based on what is available here in Capital IQ Pro. So for this one, since we do have a document open or a transcript open, it can only ask or answer you based on what is available in the document itself. But we do have a separate chat IQ, which I'll be showing later on, that you can ask it questions about different industries, different companies, without having to worry about the documents. So as you can see here, we have some suggested questions that you can ask it. So let's see. What were the key drivers behind Worley's revenue and EBITDA growth in FY 2025? So let's click on that to learn more. Okay, so as you can see, it's now answered the question for us. The revenue growth drivers, it's answered here. Again, the numbers, it will just highlight you the section wherein it was sourced from. And then we also have here a summary section. Again, you can ask it questions here. You can also listen to the transcript itself. If you'd like to listen to it, you can just click on the play button right here. So let me just close this out. Aside from the transcripts and investor presentation, you're also able to access the news, investment research, as well as the filings. So for Chat IQ, it's available for all 3 of this, so investment research, filings, and transcripts. But for news, it's not yet incorporated, but hopefully soon. Yes, basically, if you access, let's say this one, it's an annual report for a company. Chat IQ will also be available here on the right side. Okay, it's just loading a bit slower than usual. Okay, maybe I'll just close this out. But basically, okay, there it is. As you can see, Chat IQ is also available for the filings of the companies. As mentioned, Chat IQ is also available separately. You can access that under apps and links right here. And then go to Chat IQ. Okay, so this is what Chat IQ looks like, wherein you can see we have some suggested questions again. We also have the how to use. So feel free to read through this. Okay. And again, you can just ask it any questions. So one of my favorite questions to ask it would be the financials. So let's say, can you compare the 2023, oops, and 2024 financials of what was the company we were looking at? Okay, maybe I'll use this as a sample. So one thing or one tip I do have for you guys is um, to be specific about the company you're looking at. That's just because, some companies they have similar names. So chat IQ might get confused. Maybe you're referring to another company, maybe you aren't. So just make sure to be specific. So one point I found is if you're looking at a public company, maybe use their exchange ticker like what I did here. So let's ask it now. Okay, it's just pulling the data for us. As you can see, it is now listing down the 2023 and 2024 financials for the LKM. Aside from that, there's also a summary. You can see here it explained to us that while the total revenue slightly increased from 2023 to 2024, there were decreases in gross profit and etc. CapEx also decreased significantly in 2024 compared to 2023. So definitely, like a very good way for you to analyze the financials of the company. Aside from listing it down, we also have here the tables, which you can again export to Excel. And then maybe you're also interested in the or asking ChatIQ about a specific industry. Let's say, can you share any trends in the IT industry? Let's say. Okay, so as you can see, it's now listing down some trends for the IT industry. Of course, it's also giving you the source documents. So definitely like a very good way for you to maybe source the documents that you can read through and gain more knowledge about these specific trends that were listed down by ChatIQ. Okay, so a couple more things before we end. I did forget to show this specific page. It's also again under markets, and then it's called market maps. So this is you can think of this page as very specific, very niche industries. You can see here that it is separated by sectors. So energy, goods and products, services, and as mentioned, these are very niche industries such as credit cards, food delivery, livestock, neobank, psychiatry, what else is here? Video games, pet food and supplies. So if you're looking at a very specific industry, this would definitely be the page to access. So for example, maybe we can look at animal feeds. So maybe you're tasked to get more data about the animal feeds industry. You can access that here. And as you can see, just by clicking on that animal feeds links, you can change the geography here. So maybe you'd like to get those that are only in the Asia Pacific region. And now you're seeing data for APAC. Here it is deals or the transactions. You can change the deal type right here as well as the date range. You can also, of course, access the private companies as well as the public companies that are falling or that fall under this specific industry. So definitely this page would be your go-to if you'd like to access those companies part of this specific niche industry. Aside from that, we also have the events and key developments right here, which you can access. Okay, so a couple more things before we end. We also have the CAQ Excel plugin or the CAQ Pro Excel plugin, which you can access here on Apps and Links. Just go to S&P Capital IQ Pro Office download. So this will allow you to have the plugin installed on your Excel. But do note that this will only work if you have a Windows device. Unfortunately, for those that are using your MacBooks or your Apple devices, this won't work if you. This will only work if you install Windows directly on your MacBook, which, based on my research, it may take like a couple of steps, a lot of changes for your MacBook in order to have it installed. So unfortunately, it will only work for those that have the Windows devices. But basically, once you have this installed, it will allow you to access our Excel template library right here. Basically, this is the page wherein you can download our list of pre-built templates. So we do have a team that creates these templates for our clients. And all of this you can download free of charge. It's already part of the subscription your university has. So no worries on downloading as many as you can. But just to show you how it looks like, or maybe I can show you how to use this. First, we have here the filters. So you can definitely change. Maybe you'd like to get financial templates only. You can do that and then click on apply filters. You can see here that list of templates. You can just click on any of the names here to automatically download it. But to show you how it looks like, I have here a sample. So this is a detailed comps template. Basically, you can see here that we have steps wherein you can specify, or you can specify here the company that you're looking at, and then it will automatically generate comparable companies to that company. Or you can also type in that list of company you'd like to compare it to and the other steps as well. And then once you're done, just click on refresh and it will automatically populate your data for you. So as you can see here, it is comparing the IBM to their similar companies here, such as Accenture, Gartner, and etc. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of data is automatically pulled in, such as the total revenue. So it's not just for the focus company, it's also pulling the data for the other companies it is being compared to. So yes, this is just one of the hundreds of templates that we have available here on the template library. So definitely look through the available templates here and then feel free to um, download those that are or that will be helpful with your research. Okay, so we're actually at the end part now of today's session. So I know that we have like 13 minutes left, but before we end, we do have the help section right here. So if you click on the help section, you can access what's new. Right now, it's showing you the S&P Capital IQ Pro Office plugin overview because we are in the template library page. You can also access the help center. Basically, this is our help center page wherein you can access help articles, data articles to learn more about the data. We also have here platform training webinars. I believe we do have some that are recorded, and then we are also conducting planned webinars along with our marketing team. So if you're interested, we can our marketing team will definitely reach out to you with the available webinars that we have upcoming. Then CAQ Pro Academy. This is just like a sort of training that you can enroll to. And I believe you can add this to your LinkedIn as well. So definitely something that you might finish on your side if you have extra time, because that's something that you can, of course, add to your LinkedIn as well. We also have here a support line. So we have your emails, the email that you can reach out to, the number that you can call to. Our most used, or definitely the most preferred by our clients, is called the online chat right here, wherein you can chat directly with our support specialists. So if you have any questions, for example, if you're not quite sure on how to pull a certain data set, you can definitely reach out to our support line or to me if you have any questions. Okay. And yes, that would be it for today's training. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Yeah, Rafi, Leo, anything to add before we end?
Jadi,
Hi, Tricia. I think there is
Mas Ray.
one member
Mm-hmm.
raising, I think, his hand. Beta, yeah, please go ahead if you have any questions.
Thank you. Sorry for the late join, but I wonder if this platform could provide data in government level, maybe. Is there any data related to government data, maybe like the GDP or something?
Ah, yes. Okay, yeah, no worries for joining in late. And thank you so much for that question. So you can access the GDP data by going to the search button right here and then typing in the company or the country that you're looking at. So earlier we were looking at Indonesia. So just type in the country name here, click on the country. So you can see here it's Indonesia, the geography. It will open up the geography page or the country profile for Indonesia. The GDP is available on the economic and demographic data here. We also have it available on the economic data here on the left side. Just go to economic and demographic data. And it will open up the page wherein you can adjust the periods. So you can see, you can change the periods up to much earlier up to future periods as well to view the data that you need. So you can see here the GDP, real GDP, nominal GDP, GDP per capita, and etc.
Is
Okay,
it
I hope.
only available in national level, or you have detail level like the regional or the subnational government level, maybe?
Ah, good question. Um, well, based on a quick look, looks like it's only available on a national level.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So yes, any other questions before we end? Okay. So yes, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me or to our support line. I've left my email in the chat box as well. So definitely reach out to me if you have any questions or if you have any access issues. So maybe after this call, you'll be able to access your or you'll be checking your Capital IQ Pro. If you have any access issues, just reach out to me and then we can definitely sort that out. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oke, mungkin dari Pak Leo ada yang mau ditambahkan? Sudah ya, Pak
Oh ya,
Leo?
terima kasih banyak Pak Raffi. Dari saya cukup.
Oke, oke. Saya cukupkan. Terima kasih atas thank you for being speaker, Patricia. Terima kasih juga untuk Pak Leo juga yang menemani dan
Yes, anytime, Rafi.
membantu selalu membantu jalannya pelatihan Compustat ini di FEB. Oke, terima kasih juga kepada teman-teman semua mahasiswa dan juga tidak lupa Bapak Ibu dosen. Eh, saya tidak tahu, mungkin ada Bapak Ibu dosen telah menyempatkan waktunya untuk mengikuti pelatihan ini. Nanti akan kami unggah recordingnya di website perpustakaan UI di psb.feb.ui.ac.id atau bisa ditanyakan melalui WA PSB seperti itu. Oke, terima kasih. Saya akhiri mungkin jika ada kesalahan kata dari saya ataupun dari speaker, mohon dimaafkan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih, izin live.
Oke.